finally finding out the time to sit down in front of a camera and film. I did tell myself that the next time I filmed it would be on my Canon, but my Canon is dead. So here we are again on the Mac, handy dandy web camera. I have everything that I want to say written down, so like if I'm glancing down, that's why. Because the first time I tried to film this, I got it done in 7 minutes, which is a record because my videos are pretty long. But it was all mumble jumbled and it didn't seem to flow right, so I just told myself I was going to refilm it. So here I am, refilming it for you. So the first thing that I want to say is that I want to say sorry for the absence that I've had. I know I was filming and I said I was going to keep filming, and some of you emailed me and I told you I was going to keep filming, and then I just didn't update for a few months. I don't promise that it'll never happen again, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I promise that if you do ever have questions pertaining to your loved one being in the Coast Guard or anything like that, then I will be here to help you. I will never not answer your questions if you reach out to me through email, or if you Instagram DM me, or however you want to try to reach out to me. That's fine. I'll still answer you even if I'm not filming. I love answering your questions. I love being able to help you. And if you don't have a question and you just want to talk, I love talking to you and communicating to you. And that's one of the great reasons we have technology today and social media. So if you do need somebody to talk to about your coasty problems, I am here, because boy, do I feel like I have a lot of them. I want to touch upon the time that has passed. My last video says it was posted about 3 months ago. So it's been 3 months since my last video. And it's been a little over 5 months since Joe's been stationed. So for the purposes of this video, he's been stationed for 6 months, and this is my 6-month update. So since my last film, I have to retract some statements. Please forgive me. I was new, and I'm still new to coasty life, but these are really big things, so I need to correct them. I was actually able to spend Thanksgiving weekend, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day with my boyfriend. And my birthday is December 19th, and it was a Tuesday, so it was a weekday and a work day for him. And he got liberty around the afternoon time, and he was able to drive back home and see me and spend a few hours with me, and then drive back to the base for work on Wednesday morning. So I did even get to see him for my birthday, which was amazing. I was over the moon happy. I thought all my dreams came true. We got to spend our first Christmas together. And I wish I was able to film all of that, but I didn't know it yet, but I wasn't in the right state of mind to be filming. So then January rolls around, so after New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And I don't remember the exact date, but sometime in early January, his crew or unit, I may not be using the right terminology, went on what is a long trip for them. And they went underway for a while. Now, what's long for his station and our relationship, what's long for us, may not be long for everybody. I'm, in hindsight now, looking back, and I'm very grateful, because his longest trip's been 2.5 weeks, or 3 weeks, I think, to date. But this trip in January was 2 weeks long, or maybe 2.5, I don't remember. All I know is that in January, your girl, I hit rock bottom. Rock bottom. And maybe whatever is below the rock, I hit that too. So let's get into that for a little bit. So like I was saying, this long trip that they took in January was their second trip. He got to the boat on November 15th, if I remember correctly. And I remember they took their he went underway with them for the first time by the end of November, which was relatively soon, I thought, but I guess better for him to be learning. He didn't have to wait a long time to get hands-on experience. And so they went out the end of November, and it didn't really bother me much, because I had just seen him for a whole week when he got back from boot camp, which was in the beginning of November. And I was in school, and I was distracted, and the time went by rather quickly, and then he came home, and I saw him for Thanksgiving. So this is his second trip, and it was really long for me. I hadn't experienced him being gone for that long, especially since he wasn't really gone, because he was back. He wasn't in boot camp. It's not he was still here, but he was gone, if that makes any kind of sense. So it was the worst thing for me ever. Like, it was probably worse. I handled that not nearly as well as I handled him being in boot camp. So yeah, that trip, the days were long, the nights were long, everything was just long and horrible. But like when he was in boot camp and I was dealing with him being gone in boot camp, it was easy because communication was cut off completely. Like, it wasn't even an option. Like, we wrote letters and I was excited to get his letters. But now we have communication, but we have the added stress of, should I text him while he's working? I don't want to text him while he's working if he's not going to be able to answer me, but he wants me to text him even if he's not answering me. And then the added trouble of, when is he going to have time to call me? When am I going to have time to answer? Because I work and I'm in school and he's working all day. And it's just, the communication was like, and it's getting better. It's getting significantly better now, but before it was really, really, really hard for us to find a middle ground on what it's best with the long distance communication, even though it's not really long distance because he's only like 3 hours away-ish from where I live. And another thing is that when he took this trip in January, I was on my break from university, my month-long winter break or whatever they call it. So I had no distraction, and I kind of just lost myself completely. And like, I mean lost myself, I mean like I was laying in bed all day, sleeping in bed all day. I was only eating Cheez-It and Goldfish snack packs. I'd stopped going to the gym, which, if you know me personally, I'm always in the gym. I go to the gym like 4 times a week, and then the other days I'm in school and I don't have time. I stopped going to the gym. I wasn't doing anything with my time. I even started neglecting my personal hygiene, which is something for me because I'm like really into always looking nice and like, and it was pretty bad. I don't know what went wrong with me or what like broke inside of me, because it's not his fault that he had to go underway, but I don't know. I can't even put myself in the state of mind that I was in then. But I had so much time. I could have really been letting my creative flag fly. I could have been making videos, doing DIY projects, other like productive things with my time. But instead, I was laying in bed all day long, doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. And hence why I'd stopped filming. I felt like if I couldn't even deal with my own relationship, then how could I be giving other people advice on their relationships, or dealing with their pain or dealing with their emotions, I should say, from missing and loving their loved one who was in the military. So yeah, basically I loved him and I missed him. I still love him, but at that time I loved him and I missed him so much that basically at that time I was manifesting it into this negative kind of painful, depressed, manic emotion. My dad called it lovesick. Some people call it selfishness. I want to put a disclaimer out there. If you are new to this and you feel like being a little selfish and you feel like you're sad that your relationship is experiencing this change, you're allowed to be selfish. You're allowed to miss and want the closeness that you had before and the time that you had before. You're allowed to want that, and nobody can tell you that you shouldn't want that. And I think that anybody who does tell you that you can't feel that or shouldn't feel that or that it's wrong, well, they are wrong. They're the wrong ones, because the beauty of being a human is feeling all these emotions and appreciating them. However, the downside is you need to be able to channel it into the right things, which was my problem. It wasn't bad that I was feeling sad and angry and alone. I just wasn't handling it the right way and I wasn't channeling it into the right things. So, fast forward now, sometime between January and February. He did come home. We went to go see Jumanji, and it was really nice. It was so funny. Highly recommend it. Haven't laughed with him in a while like that. And then he had to go back to work, and then I got to see him. I get to see him most weekends. So I saw him like most weekends in between the end of January and like the middle of February. However, I did not get to see him on Valentine's Day, and I did not get to see him on our 1-year anniversary, which was February 26th, which was hard for me because being that he's my first boyfriend and that was our first 1 year and my first 1 year with anybody, I just felt kind of cheated. And for some reason, I was never a Valentine's Day person, but I finally now understand why that holiday is like so important to some people because it's really the only holiday that a couple has for themselves, you know? Christmas we have to share with family, Thanksgiving is for family, and Easter is for family, but Valentine's Day is just you and your loved one, and when you have a family, your kids, you know? And I, for the first time, felt that, and I wanted to experience that with him. I planned our Valentine's Day 3 times. 3 times. 3 times, and each time it either fell apart because like the first time I wanted to get tickets for Aladdin from my university, and the registration was online. But it's 1 ticket per student, and I needed 4 tickets. 1 for him, 1 for me, 1 for my mom, and 1 for my little sister, because my little sister's a Valentine too. And I wanted, this show, by the way, was showing on February 13th, which was the day we were going to celebrate Valentine's Day, because he had watch on Valentine's Day and wouldn't have been able to make it home. So I needed to get 3 other of my classmates, I needed to get their information to buy their ticket, which I did. I was fully prepared. I had everybody's information. And I go online to register, and there's this whole thing you have to fill out with everybody's address, telephone numbers, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know about these things for all these people. So I do it for me, and I go in, and I'm pretty sure I hit reserved. And then at the same time, this like link to register for the pre-sale tickets was dropped at 9 a.m. And I had to be in the car to get to school for 9 a.m. I had to be in the car at 9 a.m. to get to school, sorry. So then when I get in the car at like 9:03, I go back on to do one of the other girls, like to register her and get her ticket, and it was shut down. They only had, if I remember correctly, 30 pre-sale tickets allowed to be reserved, and I wasn't even one of the ones that got it. That was like a Thursday, I think the last Thursday in January. And then on Monday, February 1st, they had the live ticket sale in school. So then I decided that I wasn't going to get my hopes down, which they were already really down. I cried when I couldn't get those tickets. I planned our whole night in the city, going to take a picture by the love sign, and then we were going to go to Carmine's and like eat, and then go to the Broadway show. And Jasmine's my favorite princess, so I was like on top, over the moon. So I found 3 friends that could go wait in line with me to get these tickets on Monday, February 1st. I lied, I'm sorry. The pre-sale link was dropped on Thursday, February 1st, and the live sale in school was Monday, February 5th or 4th. But as we all know, Super Bowl Sunday was February 4th. So of course Joe came home, and I begged him and I begged him and I begged him not to come home. He had something very important coming up that week, and I wanted him to stay home where he's stationed and just work on that thing. And he decided to come home anyway because it was Super Bowl Sunday, and it rained where we live so hard that night that when he drove home the next morning, he hit black ice, ran into the median on the road, and crashed his car that Monday that I was supposed to be going to school to get those tickets. Lo and behold, I did not get the tickets, so plan B for Valentine's Day fell through, but it's okay because I had to go and be there for Joe after he got in his first accident ever, and he's been driving for over a year, I think. So I went, and I took him to get his concussion screening, and then I dropped him back off at the station for him to handle the rest of his business and get his car from the pound. Then I planned a third Valentine's Day to do something in where he's stationed. I was just going to go to him. The day before, February 13th, the day before we were going to celebrate Valentine's Day, he calls me to tell me that we weren't going to be able to do it because they were going underway. And this underway trip ended up lasting from that day, if I remember correctly. Oh no, I lied. It was about a week or a few days that they went out because I went to go see him on the 16th. I went to go see him on the 16th, February 16th, so that Friday, Valentine's Day. We were going to celebrate Tuesday, Valentine's Day was Wednesday, and I went to go see him on Friday. And we had been having a lot of arguments because I wasn't handling his job responsibilities the right way, and eventually, and I don't think it was at this point that it hit me, but I did go see him because I was leaving to go to Canada to visit relatives that weekend, and I wanted to see him before I left for the week. So I went to go see him, and then I went to Canada, and it was while I was in Canada and had time to reflect on a lot of different things that I realized I was handling a lot of my problems really the wrong way. And so I talked it out with him, and I've come to realize a lot of things since then, which I will get to at the end. However, I also come to realize while I'm in Canada that he was going to be missing our 1 year. At first, it was hard for me, and then, but like when the day actually came, it was fine. I handled it fine. It was just like any other day. And he had my mom get me Pandora charm, so for our anniversary, and everything worked out fine. He wasn't here, but it was okay. And a lot of things are just gonna have to be okay when you're in this type of relationship. So here's the things that I've realized. Do not plan anything, ever. Do not get your hopes up, because they will fall, and you will be broken, and it will be sad. And I will be sad for you, and I will be sad for myself. Even though it's not me, but I know the feeling, so I will be sad. So don't plan. Don't get frustrated when things don't work out. Stay strong and find a medium. I found my medium recently. I want to make a separate video on it, but I did find what's been my largest medium recently. But my smaller mediums, I've been channeling a lot of my emotions into kickboxing. I've always gone to the gym, but like the kickboxing is more active, more physical. So a lot of the pain that you have inside of you, you can take that, you can like actually channel it into something, and I really enjoy kickboxing. Kickboxing is one of them. And do things to occupy your mind, to let the time go. So if you're not in school or you don't have a lot of classes, read books, watch movies, documentaries, build puzzles, do projects, design things for your rooms, learn how to sew, learn a hobby, learn how to rollerblade. I don't know how to do that. Go for bike rides. If the weather's nice, that's really exhilarating. I don't know how to ride a bike, but I used to be able to. I used to love to ride bikes. If you're artistic, make art, just channel it. You have to find somewhere to put it, and you can't be not busy. You can't just be sitting at home and waiting around endlessly, because it's going to be hard, and it's going to be tiring, and it's going to be really, quite frankly, depressing. So you have to kind of come to this point in your life where you realize you are loyal to your partner, but you're also loyal to yourself, and you owe it to yourself to maintain good mental health, good physical health, and nothing should ever affect that. So you also have to focus on not only making him happy, or her, making your partner happy, but making yourself happy too, because nobody can actually make a person happy. If they're not happy with themselves, they're not going to be happy with anybody else. So my best advice is definitely, once you get used to it and settled into the situation, put the focus on you too. I spent so much time focusing on my boyfriend and worrying about him and making sure when he came home he felt accommodated, and I was buying him gifts all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But maybe step back, buy yourself a gift, spend some time on yourself, and then everything will fall into place. Oh, but it's very important, before I go, that you find that medium to channel yourself into. So I'll just say it. I'll make a longer video about it, but I recently found my way back to my religion that I was baptized in and confirmed in, and it's really been helping me. Sometimes when I get frustrated or want to lose my temper over something, I just think about that, about my religion. And I kind of get calmed. I kind of know that everything happens for a reason. There is a greater plan out there than the plan that you were planning. And if something goes the opposite way of what you're expecting or wanting, have faith, have trust, go with the flow. So yes, this is my 6-month update. I guess I could go more in depth, and maybe I'll film another video about more in-depth things, but that's basically how my January and February went. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the emotions I was feeling, to see if anybody else was feeling the same thing, or if it was just me. I know that I'm not a wife. I know that or a a spouse, I should say. I know I'm not a spouse, and I don't know what it's like to be a spouse. I'm not saying that my problems are the worst problems. My problems are just my problems. But maybe if I put them out there to share with other people will want to share their problems, and then we can talk about it and have conversations about it. And maybe just by being able to talk about everything, sometimes things get a little bit better, you know? Just so that people know that they have ears out there that want to listen to them. And I'm not saying that I have ears out there that want to listen to me, but I'm putting a story out there just in case other people might be feeling the same way. It's a risk I take. So please, I just don't want to be overstepping and say anything that I shouldn't or that I don't have the credibility to say. This is just what I went through, how I felt, and how I've started to overcome it. One more thing before I go. I started this out as me being a girlfriend to my boyfriend, but adding on to that thing about me putting an emphasis on me as well, I really like creating videos, and eventually I'm going to run out of stuff to talk about pertaining to him because there's only so much I can say without like breaking any laws. So I'm also going to extend the content on this channel. Of course, if you have any questions relating to me about your relationship or how to handle it, feel free to always reach out. Feel free to request videos and I will talk about it and we won't have a problem with it. But I think I'm also going to do like reviews on clothing and DIY projects and some other fun stuff might be coming your way pretty soon. So if you like my videos and you want more, just keep on watching, keep on subscribing, and I will be back. Thank you all for continuing to support me through my absence. I've watched my subscribers increase even though I haven't been filming. I've also gotten emails and other forms of contact from lots of you with questions, looking for help, or just support. You guys may think you are seeking help, but having the opportunity to give advice helps me through this as well. My contact information is in the description box below. Thank you for watching.